Welcome to the 14th Annual Fairbanks Circle of Hope Dinner. I am Kathy Holloway Hill, and I am the host of the Living by Show, which can be seen each Sunday at 6 p.m. on the WHMB TV 40 network. And I am so overjoyed. You will have to excuse my energy and excuse my excitement because I have the honor to co-MC with someone who I am their biggest fan. You know him because he came into your homes for many years on the Who's Your Millionaire game show. He was also on WTLC Radio. He is the executive producer of My Living by Design show. He is an icon. He is a wonderful person. He's the love of my life, Mr. Tony Lamont. Can you tell I'm excited?
Imagine walking away from a 28-year executive management career in corporate America to pursue your passion of empowering the world, giving them the tools they need to live their dreams. The Living by Design show with Kathy Holloway Hill. Impactful, informative, empowering. Take a look at a few of the guests that have been on the show. It's your time to be living by design.
Now, to begin the evening, I would love to introduce one of those brave individuals who I've already had the opportunity to speak with. And I know that is true. Oh my God.
I am so excited to be here at the Downtown Marriott, where we are celebrating the Circle of Hope event, Hope Academy, Fairbanks, and I have with me a young lady by the name of Chris, and her testimonial is absolutely awesome. Chris, welcome to Living by Design.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I know you have an amazing story of hope and overcoming obstacles, and just share a little bit about your experience with Hope Academy and Fairbanks.
It's been life-changing. I have 4 beautiful children that I owe, my life and their lives to Fairbanks, absolutely, for what they've given me back, which is my life.
Fairbanks made me realize recovery is possible. Today I choose to learn and grow from all experiences, good and bad. I am not ashamed of my past, and I'm not embarrassed of poor choices and decisions made. I am grateful that I have been given the opportunity to struggle as I did, so that I can help others with similar struggles.
It's approximately 3.5 years for me that I have been clean and sober and living in long-term recovery.
Excellent.
And that's exactly what we're here to do, is to break the stigma of exactly what recovery looks like.
Right.
And putting a new face with it, a new voice. So it's very exciting.
Because you are very beautiful, and no one would guess that you ever had a problem like that. Now, how did it start for you?
It was just not dealing with my insides. My insides didn't match my outside, and just trying to numb the pain of just things I just wasn't dealing with through my life, and just turning to all the wrong resources, which was alcohol.
We now have with us Leslie, and she's also an alumni and a recovering addict, and I am so excited, Leslie, that you are joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, and I know you have an amazing story. And first, let me tell you how proud I am of your courage and your commitment to overcoming the obstacles that I know you have faced.
Thank you so much.
Now, let me just ask you, how did it start? How did your issue start that took you down the road of addiction?
Well, I have addiction in my family, and so the second that I tried alcohol and drugs, I was hooked.
Yes.
I was really young. I was 13. And so it took me 10 years to finally hit my bottom. And by the time I got there, I was isolating and just really unhappy with my life.
Really? Okay, so you were 13. That means you went through middle school and high school and all of those things?
Yep, and college. College is where I got sober, actually.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
What was that defining moment that caused you to realize, I've got to stop this?
I got to be honest, it was just like any other day, but I just had enough. I had an epiphany. I called my mom, asked for help, and entered treatment at Fairbanks on December 17th of 2012. I've never looked back. Fairbanks helped me find myself again. They taught me about the reality of addiction and why it has been so hard for me to stop on my own. We took away the substances, got to work on rebuilding my life, and that shell began to chip away. A confident, happy, responsible woman emerged.
This is what recovery looks like. So please don't get any type of thoughts in your head or, well, I might as well just keep going because I'm at rock bottom anyway. Everyone can overcome. We now have with us Evan, and not only is Evan a recovering addict, but he is also an alumni of Hope Academy. This young man came to Hope Academy to get his education. Evan, I am so proud of you.
Well, thank you.
I know it has been a tough journey. Let me just ask you, when did you realize that you were in trouble?
I probably realized the most I was in trouble when I didn't want to go on anymore. I just found myself to a point where I didn't want to wake up, and that scared me.
Yeah. Were there any dysfunctional things going on in your life that caused you to turn that route or go down that path to even try drugs or alcohol?
What really led me to drugs and alcohol was not feeling like I fit in.
The most important thing on my mind was me and my drug use. I was an unhappy person. It has been a long road to where I am today, and people find it hard to believe me when I tell them about my past. I am very grateful I don't have to speculate what life would be like without Fairbanks. Because of Fairbanks, my parents don't have to attend their child's funeral because of an overdose.
I am so proud of you. And how long have you been clean and sober?
2.5 years.
You go, Evan. That is absolutely amazing. I'm proud of you for being clean and sober. I'm proud of you for graduating. I'm proud of you for I know you're going to be one of our future leaders because you're already on the path.
Well, thank you.
I am very pleased to have the honor of being here now with Mr. Faraz Abbasi, and he is the new Fairbanks board chair. Welcome to Living by Design.
Thank you.
I am so glad that we are having this evening. This is going to be a magnificent evening, a lot of testimonials, a lot of people who are just really going to touch our hearts. Now, let me just ask you, because you are the new board chair, so when did you take the office?
Just yesterday, last night.
Is that
I did.
right?
Yeah.
So are you a little nervous?
No, looking forward to it. It's a great opportunity.
It is a great opportunity, and I think Fairbanks is an amazing organization doing so many wonderful things in the community.
It is. Fairbanks is, I've been on many boards over the years, and Fairbanks is by far one of the best boards we have and one of the best teams I work with there. So I'm really, really looking forward to the upcoming year. A lot of opportunities in front of us. We are at a critical time at Fairbanks, so it's a really, really nice opportunity for us how we can cater to the community and continue to lead the addiction and recovery aspect of the community we have here in Indianapolis.
Yeah, I am just thrilled to have an opportunity to bring awareness through our TV show, because this is one of the best kept secrets, I think, in Indianapolis, just Hope Academy and Fairbanks both. Because I don't think people realize that there is a place that your team can go. There is a place that you can go. You don't have to feel alone. And I know you share my sentiments when I say that.
I do, very much so. I've got some background in addiction in the family, and clearly this hits home for me in many different ways. I hope it's not a well-kept secret. I think it's our goal has always been to have the Fairbanks name out there.
Yes.
So we'll continue to hone in on that message to the community that Fairbanks is there for recovery, and we have a very strong mission,
right,
which we are all excited about in the upcoming year.
Yeah, and you're right. I know Fairbanks is pretty well known, but Hope Academy,
right,
with the teams and the opportunity to come to a charter school, it's an amazing organization, and I'm just thrilled to be able to just feature it and be here tonight. And I thank you for sharing your comments, and I thank you for being here, and good luck in your new role.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Programs and events like this do not happen without the support of volunteers, sponsors, and donors. Thank you to the sponsors listed in your program, along with all the individuals, foundations, and corporations supporting Fairbanks this evening. And a special thank you to our premier sponsor, Jim Irsay and the Indianapolis Colts. We would also like to thank the Circle of Hope Planning Committee, led by John Adams from Intellect Resources.
Welcome back. We are here at the Circle of Hope event in the downtown Marriott, and I have with me Mr. Daryl Mitchell, and he is a volunteer at Fairbanks. And thank you so much for your volunteer work.
You're welcome.
Let's just talk about what is it that you do in your volunteer work.
Sure. I go in on Sunday evenings and work with some of the inpatients there. So the 16 to 23-year-old men who are suffering typically from opiate addiction. Which is an epidemic right now across the country and certainly in Indianapolis.
Yes.
So going in and talk to them as a person in long-term recovery about the fact that they don't have to live suffering with the disease of addiction.
Yes.
But there's a different way to live.
Now, are you yourself a recovering addict?
I'm a recovering alcoholic and addict. I am.
Awesome.
Okay.
That is, I just love the fact that people give back. I mean, when you can save yourself and then you reach back to save others, I
That's
love
right.
that.
Well, somebody was there whenever I needed help. So, I'm inspired to be there. It's the least that I can do, and it's an honor. But people need to know that they're not alone.
Right.
And, that disease is no discriminator of people.
Got that right.
So as long as they know, you can look at somebody and say, me too, but there's a different way to live, and there's a way out. That can be a powerful message for people.
That's awesome. I'm so glad and so proud of the work that you're doing. Now, you mentioned something about this epidemic. I've been hearing a lot about the heroin epidemic coming back around.
Yeah. Well, I think, a lot of people, prescription painkillers are a highly prescribed medication.
Right.
And when somebody gets into that situation and they no longer can get a hold of those, heroin is often an easy drug to get a hold of on the street.
Easy or cheap?
Both. Yeah. So you'd be surprised at how inexpensive it really is. So then people get into a situation where you're not buying anything that's monitored. You really don't know what the potency is. And it's also a highly addictive drug. So it can begin a downward spiral pretty quickly.
Daryl, if you could say something to the teens, the 12-year-olds, the young teens, to tell them what to look for and tell them to try to avoid it, because sometimes it's just a drug dealer trying to get a young addict going so that they'll have a lifelong customer. So what can you say and tell them to look for, and please try to run the other direction if you see it coming?
I think there's a fallacy that if you're doing something recreationally, you're going to be protected. And nobody that's trying to get somebody to experiment with drugs has their best interest at heart, no matter what they say. And if you avoid, ever trying anything, then you're not going to find yourself in trouble. But what I would say, if you do, the best thing that you can do is to be honest with somebody, especially if you're in a situation where you need help, because it's not something that you can outthink or outperform. But there is help available, and Fairbanks is a wonderful place to begin that journey. So if you find yourself in a situation that's something you can't control, please ask for help.
I like that. That's excellent advice. Daryl, thank you so much for the work you're doing. Thank you so much. I'm proud of you for being clean and sober.
Thank you.
And then giving back to the community. You're an amazing individual. I am now here with Barb Elliott, and she is the interim CEO at Fairbanks. And Barb, I'm so happy to see you again. You look amazing.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I am glad you're here as well. Now, Circle of Hope. How important is this event? I know this is an annual event, a fundraiser. How important is this?
Oh, Fairbanks, the Circle of Hope, is just an amazing event that brings awareness to the whole community about alcohol and drug addiction. So we serve so many people out in the community. It's just making people aware.
Today, Fairbanks offers a full continuum of services, including inpatient and outpatient programming, recovery management, long-term residential programming, education, and our recovery high school, Hope Academy. Also, we realize that addiction is a family disease. To help families, we offer family support groups and education. We are grateful to our founders who planted the seeds and established a mission that has grown with Fairbanks over the last 70 years. The growth of Fairbanks would not be possible without the help of the community. Fairbanks has had great support from our board members who have provided strong leadership and vision throughout the years. Along the way, Fairbanks has been a recipient of kindness from this community. The United Way of Central Indiana, the Richard M. Fairbanks Foundation, along with many others who have allowed us to help more people. Over the last 4 years, Fairbanks has provided over $7.8 million in charity care for individuals who were unable to afford treatment. Thank you for making that possible through your generous support.
Now, I know every year you do this, so last year, how did that go and how did that result in you getting some awareness out there and getting people to help support you?
Well, for Hope Academy, we increased our enrollment, so
Wow.
for kids, it's a safe and place for people to come, the students, to be sober and live in a good environment. So, and we have a Core 40 program for graduation, so they're able to get their graduation done and go out in the community.
Oh, that's awesome, because we really need future leaders, and I always say it's better to build strong children than it is to repair broken adults. So I'm so proud of Hope Academy and Fairbanks, because that's what you guys are doing. You're building strong children. That's what our community needs.
That's exactly right. And we would just like to get awareness out there again to everyone, because it's a great facility and provides such a good community service.
Thank you so much for being part of this. Thank you so much for talking to our viewers, and just thank you for all the amazing work that you're doing here at Fairbanks and Hope Academy.
Thank you too, I really appreciate it.
We're going to be right back with more of Circle of Hope event. I am now here with Rochelle Gardner, and you may remember Rochelle from an interview that we did with a beautiful young lady by the name of Carmela. And Rochelle is here tonight at our Circle of Hope event, and I am so pleased to see you again. Welcome to Living by Design again.
Well, thank you, Kathy. I'm glad you're here.
I am so glad to be here as well. Now, this is a big night.
It is a big night, and we're excited. The speaker is a young person in recovery, so I'm hoping he excites the crowd for getting young people to come up and get sober.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk a little bit about this event, Circle of Hope. This is an annual event, right? Fundraiser?
It's an annual fundraiser. We hold it in the spring. It's really about bringing community awareness. The fundraising part is good, but we really want the community to understand that this disease shouldn't be stigmatized. That people can stand up and be proud of their recovery.
I'm so glad you said that, because we have seen and will see more faces tonight that you would never guess were addicts at one time.
Absolutely.
Just beautiful people. I mean, they don't have any kind of residual looks or effects or anything, so it's never too late to stop. I mean, I just want that to be the message that we get here, and I want that to be the message on this show, that you can stop at any time. Don't feel like, oh, I'm at rock bottom, I might as well just stay here, because that doesn't have to be the case.
That's right. At any point, anyone can stop what's happening and reach out for help and get in the program and become sober. That's why Hope Academy is so important for young people, because it's just another support system for them when they are on the road of recovery that can help them get their education and stay sober at the same time, which is a difficult task for young people.
It really is. And it's so much pressure on young people. I do a lot of workshops with youth and especially our poor girls with the self-esteem, and boys too, because their fathers are missing in their lives. So, with the self-esteem issues and not having the father in the home, and so they think that, turning to the bottle or turning to drugs is the answer because it numbs the pain, and it's not the answer.
That's right. You're exactly right. It does numb the pain, and then it becomes their coping mechanism, and they know no other way. So, but there is hope. There's lots of ways people can, turn their lives around and start a life of recovery today.
I am here now with Dr. Christian, and he is the award recipient of the Smoking Cessation Award. Congratulations, Dr. Christian.
Thank you. It's a wonderful arena to be working in. I've been working in this particular arena for 44 years.
Is that right? Yes. Bless your heart. Well, I'm very proud of you for such a magnificent accomplishment because smoking is very hard to stop.
Yes, well, we're working at Fairbanks Addictions Hospital, of course, where 90% of our patients smoke.
Yes.
And the problem with this is, of course, in our country, virtually nobody starts after age 18. Patients consistently say, our patients say that it's harder to quit using tobacco than it is to quit cocaine, heroin, alcohol, and so forth. So that puts tobacco as being a quintessential addiction. Several Fairbanks leaders initially had the courage to take on tobacco 10 years ago. In the early 2000s, I was told about the heavy tobacco use about our patients by Dr. Tim Kelly and Dr. Becky Kelly. Helene Cross jumped into the fray in 2004, urging us to bring our IU tobacco cessation program to Fairbanks. We call this effort the Indiana University Nicotine Dependence Program at Fairbanks.
Do you see a lot of smoking along with other addictions? Do they go hand in hand?
Yeah, what we usually say is that most of the effects of smoking are interchangeable. So if you smoke, you drink. Oh. If you drug, you smoke. If you smoke, you drug. So the thing is that these addictions are all related, and we've built them into a lifestyle. But the good thing to keep in mind is that there are 50 million ex-smokers out there in our country. 50
million.
It can be done, but you better have a plan, and so that's where we come in to let people know that if you quit smoking, most of the effects of smoking are reversible. Not completely, but you can pick up a lot of function. Your lungs can recover quite a bit once you quit smoking. And so it's never too late to do this.
Congratulations. I am so proud of you. Keep up the great work and keep being an example for everyone who needs you.
I certainly will. And thanks for the opportunity to get this message out.
Absolutely.
Okay, bye.
We'll be right back with more of Living by Design. We are so fortunate to have an opportunity to speak to the keynote speaker this evening, who is Mr. Greg Williams. And believe it or not, this amazing young man is also a recovering addict. I am so excited to have an opportunity to speak with him prior to the show.
It's great to be here. Thank you. I'm excited to be at Fairbanks dinner tonight.
I'm excited to have you here, Greg. I can't believe that you are in recovery. Now, let me ask you, how long has it been since you've been clean and sober?
I've been in recovery since I was 17, and so it's been over 13 years now. I'm 31.
You're 31. Clearly, it had no bearing on your looks at all, which is a wonderful thing because you know as well as I do, some people who have been abusing alcohol and drugs and those types of things. It really shows, but it doesn't on you. So I think, oh, you're just really amazing, and I'm just so proud of your courage and everything you've overcome, because I know you have overcome a lot.
Yeah.
How did you even start down that path of using?
Well, I started drinking and using drugs when I was about 12, 13 years old, and it progressed pretty quickly for me, and I became pretty dependent.
Today I understand adolescent addiction, and I understand a little bit about this process of addiction and recovery. I just thought I liked to party, at 13, 14, 15 years old, and quickly from baseball and basketball and sports and girls, all of a sudden the drugs and alcohol became the focus of my life. And by the time I was 15, every hour I was awake, it was a full-time job to get high and try to figure that out. And I didn't really know why I was seeking that, why I was looking for that. I come from a family that gave me a whole lot of what I wanted and everything that I needed. But there was something inside of me that the alcohol and the drugs filled that I couldn't do for myself. And I got introduced to opiates by the time I was 16, and it just took me down really quick.
And I know a lot more today about the issue of addiction and where we stand as a community on this issue, but understanding that it's a lot like type 2 diabetes.
Right.
It's, some people can eat cake, others can't.
Exactly.
And we sort of understand that. And so for me today, I can't use drugs and alcohol safely, and I understand that for me, but that doesn't, so.
I love that. That is a great analogy. You are so right. Some people have cholesterol issues. Some people have type 2 diabetes. Some people have heart disease, and there are certain things that you can't and shouldn't do. So I love that. That's a good way to look at it, and it's also a good way to help our viewers see it, that, don't be ashamed. Don't feel bad to say, okay, this is what I have to deal with for the rest of my life, and I'm going to do what it takes to stay healthy.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that we're doing tonight is putting a face and voice on recovery, and that's sort of, it's powerful, because whether we don't look like people think we should look like, or even if, we're your neighbors, your firefighters, your nurses, your doctors, and people in recovery are everybody, and so there's a lot of us, and so I think it's time that we as a community start to speak out and tell our stories and share our stories with the community.
Well, you're the keynote tonight, so are you a professional speaker now? Do you do that?
No, I'm a filmmaker. I made a film called The Anonymous People.
And what's your website?
Well, you can Google The Anonymous People, but it's manyfacesonevoice.org is where the trailer is, and that's a documentary film about the emerging recovery advocacy movement that's taking off across the country and different parts of the country where people are organizing around recovery and becoming a constituency of consequence. And so the film was released in 2013, has kind of been traveling around the country, and Fairbanks has been a great supporter of that film project, and I was thrilled and humbled when they asked me to come out and speak tonight.
Well, I am also going to promote your projects, and I'm going to promote you, and I thank you so much, young man. You are just amazing. I am so pleased with your courage and your commitment and all the wonderful things you're doing. Keep doing great things, and I can't wait to hear your presentation tonight.
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you.